Our speaker today is Abhishek, and I've known Abhishek now for almost 20 years. Yeah, yeah. I think that famous holiday party was 2008. So I'll let him say more about himself, but Abhishek has graciously agreed to talk about a group trip that we took to Egypt. There's some people from CSM, people who met through CSM, and then a group of other people. And we had a great time in Egypt. And so he'll tell us about that and a little bit about himself. And also, he's a great dive buddy because he's my dive buddy. But if you ever get the chance to dive with him, he's a very good, very conscientious diver. So.
All right. Well, hi everyone. My name is Abhishek. I got certified back in 2003 in Madison, and I'm really glad because it's taken me in all sorts of places. I used to do a lot of local diving. Then I got tired of cold water, so now I just do mostly tropical diving. And in March, with a group of 16 people, I had an opportunity to go diving in Egypt. This was my second trip to Egypt. I'd gone actually with Eric about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it, and actually at that time I'd also done 1 week of land, because there's just so much history, so much culture to experience on land. Even I felt like 1 week was still not enough, but I'm glad I took that time to do that. Then I did 1 week of liveaboard diving with Eric. Had a beautiful and amazing time. I came back thinking like the reefs here are just gorgeous. They're colorful and so vibrant. So I had to go back this time on another trip that I did not organize. There were a lot of people on the dive trip and a lot of folks who actually helped contribute a lot of the different photos and videos that you're going to see in the presentation, so I want to make sure that's there. Give it equal credit. Toby, thank you very much, and Eric, who's gone to get his second beer. He also made a lot of good contributions here. So how did we get to Egypt? So some of you may know this person. This is Chris Newman. He used to live in Chicago. He was very active in Chicago Scuba Meetup. I met Chris through, I think, Shed Aquarium. We were both volunteers. He was a volunteer diver at Shed Aquarium. I think he was in marine mammals for quite a while, and then he was actually doing the dive presentations in the Caribbean reef. I also overlapped with him at the ROV competitions that Shed would host for students. So he was one of the divers in the swimming pool. Brian, you're shaking your head.
You don't just remember your story though, what we did, so things.
Oh yeah, okay. So he was one of the divers helping the students with their ROVs. I was grading them on their presentations, so we overlapped there as well. And I think a couple of times when I went to go see the Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me shows that for NPR, he was a volunteer there as well. So he decided that he wanted to organize a trip, and this trip was going to be to Egypt. So he put together the entire trip and then made it public to, I think, a lot of folks that he knew. For many years, he's actually moved out of Chicago. He's now in, I think, near Portland, Oregon. So he's away from Chicago, but still has a lot of roots here in Chicago. I think Toby and I know Tommy and Paul, you guys were set to go and had to change your travel plans at the last moment. But I'm very grateful for Chris to organize this trip, and it was packed with a lot of great people. So, can I get a raise of hands of who's been to Egypt? Good number of people. Yeah. This time I did not get to do any land touring. I was just going to do diving, and then actually I met my wife Lindsay in Turkey during her spring break, and we did 1 week, maybe 5 days of touring around Istanbul. So, but there's so much culture, there's so much history, so much architecture to see in Egypt. I took a couple photos from my trip 11 years ago, so that is Saqqara on the bottom right, the step pyramids, the first pyramids before the pyramids of Giza. I love this photo of this woman just kind of showing the scale of the size of those stones used to build the pyramids. And there's so much to see going all the way from Cairo to Luxor to Abu Simbel, Aswan. I only made it at that time to Luxor and Cairo, and there's another place. Dendera, yeah. Eric had mentioned, and on my way from Hurghada to Luxor, I stopped at a place and saw some other beautiful sights. So not only is there beautiful diving to be done in the Red Sea, but if you go, definitely take time to go explore the land. So this trip happened in the 3rd week of March. It was a 1 week live aboard with about 6 days of diving on an Aggressor ship. The cost was fantastic. The itinerary was in the deep south. So we actually went into Sudanese waters during that trip. We started out with 26 divers, and which unfortunately dropped to 16 divers. I'll talk more about that later. Our boat departed and arrived from Fort Hamada, which is on the southeast side of Egypt.
Is that south of Marsa?
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Our boat was gorgeous, and the accommodations were lovely. This was the room that Eric and I shared. We did about 3 to 4 dives maximum per day. I don't think every day had a night dive, but several of them did. There was a maximum of 19 dives. I was looking at my dive log, and I think we had at least 11 unique dive sites that we explored during that trip. The water temperature was, for me, even though I used to do cold water diving, it was chilly enough that I took my dry suit. And I was so glad because I was so comfortable during the entire trip.
For multiple dives.
Yeah, for multiple dives especially.
Yeah.
And the air temperature was in the kind of the low or upper 60s at night, but really comfortable in the daytime.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I love this photo that someone had taken of with their screen open, so you could wake up and just see the ocean when you're in your room. From my dive computer, I think my maximum depth was about 87 feet. On average, the max was about 67 feet. About an hour dive each dive. The cost for the Aggressor for me, for the Aggressor was 1.7 thousand. For me, total was about 3.7 thousand. So that includes my air travel, hotel, meals, whatnot. And then sometimes some people kind of get curious, what's the cost per dive? For me, it was about $230. I missed the last 3 dives because my dry suit ended up having a leak on the second to last day. And it was just too big of a leak. I'm like, screw it, I'm done. So I missed 3 dives.
Better than the first day.
Very true. Very true. I did bring my wetsuit just in case. So I had a backup. And I would have done wetsuit diving, but I just would have been cold.
The amount to the Aggressor included nitrox and tips.
Nitrox, port fees, and yeah. Not the tip, I don't think.
Not the tip.
Yeah.
So the 3700 included
The tip.
Included tip, and included airfare, and included all the other stuff you did.
Yep.
How many days again?
6 days of diving.
Wow.
Yep.
This is the newest Aggressor.
Was it the newest?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it was really nice. Although again, at the very top they have a hot tub, which I should have put that photo in there. It was just full of flies by the end of the week. So I don't know why they had those. All right, so we got a map of Egypt, and just to get everyone oriented. So we were in the southeast part. We left from Port Hamada. Charles, you were asking about South and North Column. So it is. Most people flew into Hurghada, but a lot of people had side excursions that they did. Toby, I know you and several others did sightseeing in Cairo before coming into Hurghada. Most everyone met in Hurghada, and then we took a shuttle down to Port Hamada. Some people who also did a Nile River cruise, they went directly from, I think, Aswan directly to Port Hamada. It just didn't make sense to go from Aswan to Hurghada only to come back.
Sorry, where did the plane land?
For me, Hurghada. Yeah.
The longest drive down.
So,
It was long enough that there were several other people on board who were complaining about the lack of lunch on the flight.
oh yeah, yes.
There was one little pit stop.
Pit stop to get snacks and chips.
Which
That was it.
maybe this picture. I mean, it's just under 4 hours. We got up about. It's a good 4 hours.
Yeah, it was about 4 hours. 4 or 5 hours, so yeah. It was a very comfortable ride.
There is an airport in Marseille.
There is, yeah.
3 days.
Looks like it might have been a very scenic drive.
Yeah, you always had the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Like that you could
It's
see.
a desert.
Yeah,
the ocean.
and the desert on the other
We also
side.
had some creative moves by the driver.
Yes.
They don't really have entrance.
I forgot
and
about
exit
that.
ramps. They just have one. And you just go and
It looked like we were going against traffic.
We're guys. Not from the that spot.
You know, it was scenic and monotonous at the same time.
Yes.
Punctuated with a little.
Yeah.
So credit to Eric for giving me a little map that tracked our route on the boat from Port Hamada all the way down. The Elba Reef, the deep south, is in this area. So we did kind of cross into Sudanese waters before we kind of came back up.
What else?
There is a disputed border there too.
There is, yes. Yeah, so I think there is, yeah. A triangle. Yeah.
I think listen up.
Non-continuous fly.
Toby, thank you for sending this little photo.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on our lead up to the trip.
Yeah, so there was some chaos that started, and I think it's been finished. I can't tell.
Well, we own the Strait of Hormuz
Okay,
now.
all right.
There was some art side so I think started war.
But it started just weeks before our trip, unfortunately. So I know there were several people who they either had other plans and they were concerned about getting stuck. So we had several groups or people just dropped out because of the conflict. Others had unexpected either personal or family health challenges, so they had to drop out. So we unfortunately went from a group of 26 people down to 16 people. But for at least what it's worth, and I'll speak for myself, like I didn't feel any safety issues. Aggressor, they came out with their statement. I reached out to a travel agent that I'd used 11 years ago, and independently they said, like, you're going to be in the touristy area, it's going to be fine, it's going to be safe. Tourism is how we make our living. So, and because my wife put it thousands of miles away. What was the distance, Lindsay?
It was like the difference between here and like San Francisco.
Okay, so
I think one of the things is that there were a number of people who had connections through the Gulf State Airport.
that's true. Yes. Yes.
So they would have had to.
And I think some people actually didn't have to reschedule their
I think some
flights
people did.
because
Yeah.
they were going through Qatar or some other places.
Then some were also planning excursions
In Jordan, yep, that got canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, I was stuck in Tanzania.
Were you?
Yeah. I spent a night in Dar es Salaam airport.
Sorry.
But I think the only thing that I saw at Hurghada Airport was just more security. That's what I experienced, at least personally. So, what I'm hoping is that this presentation is going to be a little different. I know there's often like you're going to show land stuff and then there's a diving portion. I kind of wanted to mingle it up So after talking with like Derek and Toby and some others, it's going to be like a dive briefing of sorts and a dive plan. So we're going to go do some diving, and then we're going to take our surface interval, go see some land stuff.
Cool.
Then we're going to go back diving again. Then do some more surface interval, which could be the boat. They could be going to Cairo, because there were people who went to Cairo, there were people who went to Luxor. We did get a chance to do some snorkeling with dolphins, which 11 years ago, I know Eric and I, we went out, there were no dolphins, so I was really excited and so happy to have seen that and experienced that. A little more tourism stuff and some night dive photos, and finally kind of group photos at the end. Funny stuff, fun stuff, whatnot. So what I have to show are 4 short films for each of those stages of diving plus surface interval. They're about 4 to 6 minutes long, and in between I'll just pause. If there's questions or something, happy to answer. And then there's a surprise between each one as well.
You're really raising the bar on this presentation. I mean, I don't know.
All right, so let's take this mics. So the pool is open. I think that might have been the time when my dry suit gave out, and I was like, well, I can't do anything else, so I may as well just record. All right, so this should be the first video. So people arrived at different times, not all together. That dog really followed us. Tell me I love your photos. Yeah. I saw that 11 years So, oops.
Without the
I do have a quick trivia.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to recruit my wife Lizzie to help track who answers the question first correctly, and there is a prize that I have. So, Lindsay, I'm sorry, what was we were doing?
So I'm a high school teacher, and it's always good if you're going to ask questions to make your students feel like what's up comfortable as possible. So if you know the answer, don't yell it out. Don't raise your hand. You have to. Well, you can raise your hand, but you also have to say ding 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 ding. And then we'll know who has the actual answer.
All right. So the question is,
ding 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 ding.
then which was that? Okay, which direction is the Nile River flow through Egypt?
Can we ask?
Yeah.
Go on.
Sure. Okay. Good job. And Charles, you get a piece of sea salt chocolate. Have freshwater chocolate.
Doesn't flow down. Doesn't it also flow down by definition?
No.
All right. There's 3 of us here who were on the trip. So, Eric, Toby, can we just do one by one? One person at a time. What am I trying to say? This comes up later too. So, would you like to share, Eric, your most favorite and least favorite part of the trip?
I think my well, I'll start with my least favorite. My least favorite part of the trip was the cooler than originally expected water temperatures because I had to go buy a wetsuit because I realized when I was insufficient. My single favorite part of the trip was the distinct lack of puns from my roommate.
Oh. Have you done that as roommates?
There was a little bribery involved.
Is that called bribery or
Threats?
threat? I think it's threat. All right. We'll come back to that, Toby, for the next one. So, this should be the next dive video.
Ghana is very nice. And if you're going, stay there.
I thought that was Luxor because I thought Chris had put it in the.
I think that was the Miriam.
Oh boy. All right. Second trivia question. One of Egypt's classic breakfast items is ful madamas. So what is it? Sweet pastry, stewed fava beans, fried cheese, or ground chickpeas. And remember how you have to answer if you know the answer.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay, Eric,
It's stewed fava beans, isn't it?
you're right.
We gotta get that.
There you go.
Cheer we every
And-
morning.
That was one of my favorite breakfast items every day. Toby, did you have it?
I love it, man. That's
Okay. And so yeah, it's just fava beans. I put a little tahini and a lot of spice on there. My wife can attest that I make a giant batch every week, and I have for the last several months because it's just so good. So, and I just put it on some toast, and it's my lunch. So I'm grateful for the trip because I have a new lunch item that I can eat.
I'm sorry, I broke the leg. Sorry about it, guys.
All right.
Sorry.
Since Eric is, oh, wait, no, you answered about.
Yeah, you already answered.
Yeah. So Toby, what would be your
favorite.
yeah?
Well, can I give two? Because I think it's always a flip of the coin. It's sort of two parts. So I'm gonna mess up your system here.
That's
So,
okay.
So both, you mentioned before the 26 to 16. So sadly, like folks like Tommy and Paul sitting
Yep.
here, we're part of the 26, but not part of the 16. So that was a least favorite part. There's a lot of our folks couldn't go for one reason or another. Some medical, some other. I will say it became the best part when we got to the room designation. For most of us was wrapped up in it. All of a sudden, you had single. It actually came quite faded. And then on the diving part, I don't know if we're going to show any direct videos. We did one great back here, and some of you know I like to do a lot of direct dives. So it was one of the
I think
highlights.
I had one photo, but
Yeah,
I didn't
but
have
it
any
was,
other.
It was a highlight. We can talk more about it offline.
Yeah.
But on the reef saver, we very quickly skimmed over it, and we actually spent half the dive off of the wreck, swimming hard for no good reason. We get to some silly spot that was a nothing spot. So that was also the least favorite. Okay, taking up more of my time.
No, that was the whole idea about it.
Right.
All right. So this video should have some more dive photos, but also our snorkeling tour. So one of the times we did snorkeling with dolphins, spinner dolphins.
That's a small. People hitch up to the boat, try to sell you stuff. We had that. Yeah, they were like on kayaks and hitched up to the boat, trying to sell you stuff.
All right.
Very close.
So, third question. I actually think this one I have my wife to thank. So, what iconic American statue was originally planned for the Suez Canal and would have been called Egypt Carrying the Light to Asia?
Just you.
Statue of Liberty?
Yep. And amusingly, I guess the design came through, was of a peasant woman carrying a torch. King of Egypt didn't like the cost, scrapped it, and then the French designer repurposed it. So,
I mean, I feel like the king of Egypt has a lot of money. Right?
like, I don't want to do that.
It's a flash.
All right.
Nice use of transmogrify.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The moving.
I love Calvin and Hobbes, and in it, Bill Watterson uses, and Calvin has a transmogrifier, which can convert anything to something else. So I like to use that word if I can. So for me, I think the single most favorite thing was just I knew some people on the dive trip, but not everyone, and the group was fantastic. It was just a lot of fun diving with everyone. The least favorite part, I had been there 11 years ago or so, and I was very surprised that Eric would know more how many reefs overlap with what we did 11 years ago, but just a few. I felt as if the reefs were not as good as they were 11 years ago. That was my take on it. So I was disappointed on that. There were times where it just seemed like the reefs were just barren. I'm just looking around like, where are the fish? Where's the coral? So that part was sad, yeah. All right, the last movie is Night Dives, and then kind of closing out with just some fun photos of the group. I always love night dives because you could just get to see so many strange animals that you wouldn't see during the daytime. Those are brittles? No. Cranfish. Right. That they just open up. Those were just, as we're coming back on the boat, they were just kind of on our way from surfacing to the boat. Oh, good one.
But there's someone else might have said, I didn't have photos of that. Did that mean who was AHA Gallup?
Cat.
Oh,
Yeah. So I didn't know that they do that.
The tradition across the Aggressor.
Yeah, so she just finished her 400th dive. She came back on the deck, and they made her into a cake, which means breaking eggs over her head, flour, sugar,
Oh, wow.
and then pushing her off the edge of the boat. Chocolate syrup. Chocolate syrup. Yeah. So I just had more fun just watching that, I think.
I actually.
Bonus trivia question. Which font am I using?
Ding, ding, ding. Cairo?
Yes!
How many sand have been chunky? I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have it out.
Alright, so, Eric, Toby, and I know a lot of others, thank you so much for all the photos and videos you guys share. Hopefully, make this presentation possible.
Is that QR code?
That is, I kept forgetting about it. It's the captain's log,
Oh.
and it has all the information about who was diving,
Ooh.
all the crew members, because there was one point where I was like, wait, who's this person from the crew? So someone in our group reminded me of this captain's log that the Aggressor keeps, and then day-by-day log of where we went, what guy's site was like, what the conditions were like. Yeah, so it's really nice. So I ended up actually putting that into my own notes as well. So if you'd like to read about it, you can scan and read that at your convenience. And then our guides were fantastic. If I remember correctly, I think you can either join them or you can do your own. Kind of like dive.
Yeah, they put.
Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, they put like 2 of them in the water each.
Yep.
Each time, and then at this. Yeah.
And you can
do your own thing.
you can do your own
Oh,
things.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
They tell you what they did every day and what you guys change. Boy, I love
Yep,
that.
yep.
Wow.
So,
That's it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Does anyone have questions for Abhishek or rest of the people that went on the trip?
Well, one thing when you go to Egypt, one of the things I disliked the most was having to tip everybody constantly and constantly being asked for money. So plan on when you go to Egypt, plan on having
Small
a bunch of
notes.
a bunch of small Egyptian pound notes that you can hand out because you're gonna need it. Like if you want to go to the bathroom, it's gonna cost you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
And solving certain problems may cost you a little as well.
Not all the time, though.
Not all the
Trying to
time.
get my
Yeah.
batteries.
Didn't do too much of that this time. But
No.
the previous times I've been to Egypt, I've
Just
paid
plan on-
some bribes here and there.
Yeah, but just plan on budgeting some money for tips and
Yeah.
bribes and so forth.
Yes.
The people are really friendly.
Anybody else have questions?
This was amazing.
Well, then let's thank Abhishek again.